location again, and this setup is all already done for us, i.e. this is my daughter's room, and she has a microphone and whatnot already ready to go. So we are giving it a try today for the first time. I have a Blue Yeti to my left, but I thought if this is already set ready to go, it would be silly not to take advantage of it and see how we get on. Bear with me. So today's video, what are we going to be doing? Well, if you've read the title, you already know. It's right up here. Ignore the writing. So, yes, that's what we are doing today. We are booking John Cena's last match. John Cena, the WWE superstar, who will be retiring from professional wrestling in the next couple of months, in December I believe. And it was announced during Saturday night's main event a couple of days ago that there would be a tournament to decide who his last opponent would be. So that got my little brain twitching, and I thought, well, Ollie, we've not done a ASMR WWE video in a long time. Why don't we do one for this? So that is what we're going to do. We are going to book John Cena's last ever opponent, or his last ever match rather. I'm going to try and move this microphone a little bit closer, bear with me. Hopefully that's okay. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Well, I already know who I want his last opponent to be. I won't tell you until we get to the end. We have two options, and one of them is a wow option, like bloody hell, I didn't see that coming. And the other one is okay option. So let's first of all write down who will be in this tournament. I'm going to write them over here in a list. So we've got the rest of the area available to us, because I do not have a board wiper to hand right now. So let's get on with it. Right. This is a list of superstars from Raw, SmackDown, NXT and outside of WWE, i.e. TNA. Alright, let me move the microphone over this way a little bit. Apologies for this fluffing about. Okay, we have a hair on the whiteboard. It's not ideal, is it? A bloody hair. Got rid of it. Okay. Our first name. One of my favourite superstars at the minute is Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio. I think he is worthy of a position in this tournament, in the respect that he is the current IC champion. I cannot get this hair off this bloody whiteboard. Oh, what a nightmare. Yeah, Dirty Dom Mysterio is our first name in the tournament. Second, we have Sheamus, somebody who had a huge rivalry with John Cena at one point or another. Next, we're going to go with LA Knight. I'm not saying I'd like to see LA Knight v John Cena, but I think he's worthy of a position in the tournament just due to his standing in WWE at the moment. Next we have Obafemi of NXT fame, the former NXT champion. Again, do I think we're going to get Alpha Femi v John Cena? Apologies for my phone going off. No, I do not believe we'll get Alpha Femi v John Cena, but I believe it would be a very good tournament if he was involved. The matches that he could have would be very entertaining. Next, we have Penta, who is on Raw and currently has a rivalry with Rusev and Dominic Mysterio. We couldn't have a John Cena last match tournament without involving The Miz. Bit of an out there one, but I have added Trick Williams, who has had a very good time down in NXT over the last 18 months to 2 years, and also been the TNA World Champion. We have Finn Balor, who will be joining his Judgment Day teammate Dominic Mysterio in this tournament. Next we will have, I'm going to have to move over here a little bit. Next we will be adding Matt Cardona. I can't say I'm his biggest fan. Matt Cardona, former Zack Ryder in WWE, I believe. Not his biggest fan, but he played a big part during John Cena's time in WWE. And yeah, that is what. And he's part of TNA currently. He was on NXT recently, so we're adding him to the tournament. Next we are having the NXT World Champion in Ricky Starks. Very good wrestler and a future WWE superstar, in my opinion. Another man to have a huge rivalry with John Cena over the years has been Rusev. Those two had some great matches, and he is being added. That gives us 3, 6, 8, 11. We need 16 names in total. Let's add Gunther. A lot of people have claimed that Gunther will be John Cena's last opponent. Whether or not he will be on my list in my tournament, we'll have to wait and see, guys. Drew McIntyre. I'm not going to write that, it's going to come up all across the board here. Drew McIntyre has been trying to get a match with Cena on his retirement tour for a little while now, and this could be the time and the way that he gets that match is through this tournament, after he keeps getting screwed over by Cody Rhodes and Punk over the last 12 months or so. You can't believe he'd love to stick it to John Cena and have the last laugh for once. Next, one of my favourite stars in WWE is Ethan Page, All Eagle Ethan Page, down in NXT. This man is bloody great, and the sooner they get him onto the main roster, the better, in my opinion. I honestly believe he's been wasted down in NXT, even if he is the North American champion, and therefore he's doing well. But I just think we're wasting time. He could be on the main roster. He's not getting any younger. How many is that? 3, 6, 8, 12, 14. We need 2 more names. We are adding Ray Phoenix, Penta's brother. Maybe a bit of a step up for him compared to what he's been doing recently, but I believe he could have a great match with his opponent in this tournament in the first round. And the last name that I am looking at my list and missing. Oh yeah, stupid me. Braun Breaker. I think I spelled that wrong. There you go. Now on this list here, so we've got 3, 6, 8, 12, 16 names. The names that would stand out in terms of who you think you expect to go all the way. For me, it would be Braun Breaker, Gunther, and Drew McIntyre. Obafemi maybe, but it means a step up for him from NXT level, so you just never know. But who will face each other in the first round? Let me tell you. We need a bigger board. Right, the first round matches are... We'll walk right here because we're not going to have enough space, okay? So we'll put numbers next to their names so we know who is in which match. We have Dirty Dom, number 1, taking on Ray Phoenix, also number 1. Therefore we know them two are against each other. We have Sheamus, number 2, taking on Ethan Page, number 2. What a match I think that'd be. Sheamus against Ethan Page, that'd be bloody brilliant. Rusev, number 3, against Finn Balor, number 3. You can see where I'm going with that. There's already issues between Rusev and the Judgment Day with Dominic Mysterio. Now we're going up against Dirty Dom's teammate in Finn Balor. Number 4 is LA Knight, and he will be taking on Trick Williams in their match. But a great opportunity for Trick Williams, that would be. And both are very good on the microphone, so I think that would be great fun in the build up to the match. Number 5, we're going Penta. We actually have Babyface. No, I was going to say 2 Babyfaces against each other. We don't, we've got 2 heels. So, Babyface and a heel. Penta, the Babyface, against Gunther, the heel, and Penta, the Babyface. That should be a hell of a match. Can you imagine the slaps in that match on each other's chest? Holy hell. That's actually a match I can't wait to see at some point down the line, whether it's in this tournament or not. Next, we have number 6, Drew McIntyre, against number 6, Ricky Saints. I call it Ricky Starks, I apologise. I'm getting mixed up with his AEW name. It's Ricky Saints. I should make that mistake yesterday when writing this out on a piece of paper. Put Ricky Starks in as well, stupidly. 7. This will be fun. We've got The Miz against Obafemi. The idea would be The Miz would be in the ring calling for his opportunity, saying he deserves a shot after he beat John Cena, didn't he, for the title all the years ago, I believe. And that was during the phase where I wasn't watching WWE all the years ago. And you might be able to hear the rain on the window here, guys. Yeah, he'll be calling for a match, and all of a sudden Obafemi will come down to the ring after Nick Aldis says, you want a match, okay, you can have one in the tournament, here's your opponent, and then see the Miz's face be quite entertaining. And number 8, the last match, is going to be our last 2 people on the list, Mark Cardona and Braun Breaker. So I've tried to make some entertaining matches here, guys. Dirty Dom, Ray Phoenix, that literally Bray style, I think will be very, very entertaining. Sheamus, Ethan Page. Ethan Page can go with the best of them, and Sheamus is a hard bastard. Rusev, Finn Balor. You got that rivalry with the Judgment Day. So it don't matter that they're both heels. LA Knight and Trick Williams, I think will be very entertaining. Gunther and Penta. Yeah, again, very hard hitting, and I really want to see that at some point anyway. But let's just get into who is making it through these matches, okay? In my made up tournament, this is match 1, Dirty Dom against Ray Phoenix. We have Dirty Dominic Mysterio cheating to win, which is typical of how he wins these days. So Dirty Dom wins, Ray Phoenix is eliminated in the first round. I was hoping to get Ray Phoenix v Penta, but we don't need that anytime soon, to be fair. We can build up to that down the line. Match 2, Sheamus, Ethan Page. I want Ethan Page to go all the way, but I have to be sensible and think there's no rivalry with John Cena and Ethan Page, and he doesn't need it. So Ethan Page is out, Sheamus goes through. Rusev and Finn Balor. We get Dominic Mysterio out there trying to cost Rusev the match. He inadvertently costs Finn Balor the match. At a later date, Balor's pissed at Dom. He's like, just because, you've got through and you didn't want to have to face me. And that is where we're going with that storyline. Even though it wouldn't have been Balor against Dom, it'd be Dominic against somebody else. Wow, I can hear the rain. Hopefully that's not too loud. And Balor loses his match as a result to Rusev, thanks to Dominic Mysterio trying to help Finn Balor. LA Knight, Trick Williams. I really like Trick Williams. He has a star, a future as a star on the main roster, but for now we're having LA Knight go through to the next round. Gunther against Penta. Penta is, I don't know if he'll ever be the top man. I don't think he has that potential just because of his age, etc. I think you'll see him as an IC champion or US champion at some point. Maybe a tag champ with his brother down the line. But for this storyline, we need Gunther to go through, so Penta is out. Match 6, Ricky Saints against who's he against? Drew McIntyre. Ricky Saints coming in as the NXT champion. He's already got, a good spell ahead of him. He doesn't necessarily need a match with John Cena. Drew has been screwed left, right and centre. Ricky Saints is good friends though with Cody Rhodes. Drew has had issues with Cody Rhodes recently. Ricky Saints and Cody are good friends from AEW time. We're going to have Drew McIntyre go through against Ricky Saints and continue to beat on Ricky afterwards, and Cody comes out to make the save. Drew McIntyre goes through. Next we have The Miz v Obafemi. We all know which way that's going. The Miz will soon regret calling for a match in this tournament, and Obafemi goes through. And the last match in this round is Matt Cardona, Bron Breakker. Not biggest fan of Matt Cardona, and Bron Breakker is a future WrestleMania main eventer 10 times over. Probably not that many, but you know what I'm saying. Bron Breakker beats Matt Cardona. The second round of matches. Let's see if we can do this. I really needed a bloody board wipe, didn't I? Okay, let's cross off the numbers. That'll make it easier. Okay. While you're at, I've got all this side here, we'll write the next round of matches over here. The quarterfinals will be Dirty Dominic Mysterio v Obafemi. We have Sheamus taking on Rusev. The two of them have had some great brawls over the years. Quite recently as well, to be fair, on Raw, where they had 3 or 4 weeks where they was up against each other week in, week out. We have Drew McIntyre v Bron Breakker and LA Knight taking on Gunther. I do believe at this point we've got a hell of a quarterfinal group set up here, where any of these could go on to face John Cena and it'd be a great match. Some huge men Gunther, Bron Breakker, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Rusev, Obafemi. Massive men. Okay, storyline wise, Dom has cost Finn Balor his match in the first round. You'd think Balor would want to get a bit of revenge. But yeah, we have it. Dom up against Obafemi. Rather than costing Dirty Dom the match for Finn Balor, you think he might do. He looks like he's come out to get a bit of revenge on Dom. But it turns out he's just there to distract the referee. Whilst JD McDonough hits Obafemi with the ring bell hammer, which is what Dirty Dom's been using recently. Obafemi goes down. Dom hits the frog splash. Oba won't look any weaker because he's been hitting the head of a hammer, so it's not like he's lost clean to Dirty Dom. And Dirty Dom progresses to the semi-finals. Sheamus v Rusev. We get a clean win for Sheamus here. We don't need to see Rusev reach the semi-finals, but Sheamus in this storyline needs to reach the semi-finals. Rusev is out. Drew McIntyre v Bron Breakker. I mean, how the hell would you split these two in terms of who needs this more? Bron is a future WrestleMania main eventer. Drew McIntyre is struggling to get over the line and get the title off of Cody Rhodes. He was struggling to get it off of CM Punk. Well, Punk with the champion was struggling to beat Punk. Drew feels like he's getting screwed left, right and centre. Bron Breakker is, trying to head up his own version of the Vision. This was very difficult to decide on a winner for me. But I did go with Drew McIntyre. I'll probably regret that. The reason I went with Drew is because I couldn't see who would beat Bron Breakker if Bron got through to the semi-finals. I couldn't see how we stopped him. So we're going to have Drew McIntyre defeat Bron Breakker. Despite Bronson Reed trying to help Bron Breakker, we'll have Bronson Reed dispelled from ringside by the referee. In the distraction, Drew will hit Bron Breakker with a Claymore kick and then a second one and win the match. I think it'll be a hell of a match now. Drew McIntyre v Bron Breakker. LA Knight v Gunther. Again, I said at the beginning, we do not need to see LA Knight v John Cena. We don't need it. Am I entertained by LA Knight's matches? Not really. Do I want to see Gunther against John Cena? Yes, please. LA Knight loses in the semi-final. Sorry, in the quarterfinals, my bad. Semi-final. We have Dirty Dom v Gunther and Sheamus taking on his old buddy Drew McIntyre. Now, Dom has got through the first round and the quarterfinals through cheating both times. He beat Ray Phoenix with some interference. He beat Obafemi with some interference. And now we have him up against Gunther. You can only see which way this is going, can't we? Sheamus v Drew McIntyre. Drew is destined to get to this final. You can smell it. Sheamus is out to prove everyone wrong that he's still got it. That him and John had great chemistry back in the day. That there's something left there for him, that he has to put it to bed against John in John's last match. We are going to have Finn Balor and JD McDonough leave Dom to his match with Gunther, which they've had in the past. These two have wrestled in the past, I believe. We're going to have Dominic Mysterio backstage in an interview bragging how he is doing all this on his own. That's going to piss off Balor and JD, and they're going to say, no, okay, that's fine. You got this far on your own. We'll leave you to it. And that's when Dirty Dom will realise, Oh no, well I've let myself in for you when he's in there against Gunther. Dom will give it a great match. He'll give it a real good go, but Gunther, for me, wins the semi-final. Dirty Dom goes out. Sheamus v Drew. I mean, Drew v Gunther would be a great match. Sheamus v Gunther would be a great match. Drew McIntyre, who went after Ricky Saints at the end of his match, he's going to get his comeuppance when Cody comes out. He don't attack or anything, he just comes out on the stage, distracts Drew McIntyre, and we get Sheamus hitting his brogue kick and getting the win. The final is Sheamus v Gunther in the final. Now, who has Sheamus come through here so far? He's beaten Ethan Page in a very hard match. He's then had to come through a war with Rusev. He might even come out of that match a little bit banged up. He's then had to come through a match with Drew McIntyre. The semi-finals here, they're on the same night as the final. So Gunther's had Dom, which, difficult but not too difficult. Sheamus has had Drew. Sheamus is coming out of this match beaten and battered, and he's going to go up against Gunther in the final. The cards are stacked against Sheamus. Everyone's putting their money on Gunther. John Cena in the final. We get a Sheamus victory in the John Cena The Time Is Now tournament, or the Last Time Is Now tournament. Sheamus wins and reaches the pinnacle, which is John Cena's last ever match. We can go one of two ways here. We have Sheamus having just beaten Gunther after beating Drew McIntyre earlier in the night. He's in a right state. He can't believe he's finally done. He's getting this match with John Cena. He's over the moon. Whose music hits? It's right here. Big letters if we can. The Rock's music hits. Who turned John Cena heel? The Rock. Who nearly messed up John Cena's final run of matches in WWE? The Rock. Who does the John Cena have unfinished business with? The Rock. You can have Sheamus having come through Dominic Mysterio and Drew McIntyre on the same night. He's now face to face with The Rock. The Rock says to him, if you can beat me, you get your match. By the way, you're taking me on right now. The Rock says, ring the bell to the ref. Kicks Sheamus straight in the stomach. Hits him with a rock bottom. People's elbow, then the rock bottom. And that's it. The Rock wins and goes on to be John Cena's final ever opponent. That is one way you could go. Or we could just stick with Sheamus wins against Gunther and goes on to be Cena's last ever opponent. I do like the idea of The Rock. Not as a match, but just that twist, I think would be bloody brilliant. But I also like the idea of Sheamus getting to that final and being John Cena's last ever opponent. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Who would you have as Cena's last opponent? And do you like the idea of this tournament that I came up with? Or is it just a load of crap? Let me know.